All right, everyone, welcome back to another CLM here in the YouTube studio of Colin C and Joe P. We are going to go with a reaction to a reaction. It's kind of messed up. I don't know. We've seen a lot of YouTubers do this and be successful and make them successful. We've obviously already done one on the Mark Wahlberg, but one we're going to be talking about is Greg Doucette's reaction on Marcus Filly's 5% body fat at 3,700 calories, which is unreal.
He doesn't bulk and he doesn't cut, he maintains. Does that sound like someone you know?
Marcus Filly, big time CrossFitter. He's kind of changed his ways a little bit, I'd say, but big time CrossFitter. And Greg Doucette just talks about everything and is literally like the man.
Yeah, if you don't know either of these guys, check out their YouTube channel. We'll put some links below, but yeah, they're awesome. They got really great content, really cool stuff.
So let's get into it.
He claims to have 5% body fat eating 3,700 calories a day.
I would say if you're in a caloric deficit for a normal, maybe 190, 180 pound male, you're probably looking at about 2,500 calories to really be in a caloric deficit. 3,700 calories means you're probably gaining weight.
Yeah.
So this is not normal. You're probably going to be gaining weight.
On the back of the food label, it says 2,000.
Yeah,
unrealistic. Most people don't eat that, you know, but that's almost doubling that, what normally you're supposed to eat, right?
Absolutely. So first, if you watch any other of Greg Doucette's videos, you're going to see that he is big on main gaining, staying about the same, staying at your median weight for most of the year to where you feel good, where you can go up and down slightly, and then when you do want to maybe cut a little bit for beach or whatever, it's a little bit easier to do so. That's probably where most people want to stay. The bulk and the cut are more for people who are, you know, into the more of the bodybuilding scene
for sure.
and stuff like that.
Pros,
for like CrossFitters and things, we don't really think about that.
No, we really don't. Your body likes to maintain homeostasis, which is what he's kind of talking about anyways. It tries to find a balance point that it likes to try to maintain. Again, it's not trying to cut or trying to bulk, it's just your middle ground where you naturally fall. Or if you do know Marcus Filly, back when he was a big time CrossFitter, he was massive. Like, this dude was huge and
super
jacked.
fit.
Oh yeah, super fit. Now it looks to me like he's lost a lot of muscle mass. So although he's maintaining or maintaining this 5% body fat, really, is it that comfortable for him? I mean, it's got to be tough to do, even though he's able to do it at 3,700 calories, so he's eating all the time. But to maintain 5% body fat, I just feel like can't be overly comfortable all the time.
First and foremost, on every single plate is protein.
Tip from both of them. Number one thing you should do is focus on your protein. Clearly, it's going to give you more muscle mass. It's going to help you maintain your muscle and gain more muscle. Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely, every single meal should have it. Also, having protein 5 times a day, which is what they're talking about this video, is extremely important for muscle mass and muscle gain. It's also important for any tissue in your body. To regenerate any tissue in your body, your skin, your nails, you name it, it needs protein. So it's not just important for muscle gain and muscle maintaining, but any tissue in your body.
As you guys know, typically you just need to eat about 0.8 for the ladies, maybe a gram, no more than a gram per pound of body weight. So he's eating 220, as kind of Greg goes over that. It's more than you need, but there's nothing wrong with it. With that many calories, you're gonna have to go over on some things.
Yeah.
Something protein also does is it helps to keep you satiated. It's more filling.
Greg is talking about eating more protein to help stay satiated and stay full. I have heard that from every single type of macronutrient. I've heard it from every type of macronutrient. I've heard people say if you eat a lot of fat, you'll stay full longer. If you eat a lot of carbs, you'll stay full longer. If you eat a lot of protein, you'll stay full longer. If you just eat more food, you'll stay full longer. I don't really care what it is. If you have something sitting in your gut, it's gonna take longer to digest. That's kind of what he's getting at here.
I would agree 100% because I, you know, even with your fat comment, it doesn't make sense to me that people are like, oh, if you eat more fat, you're going to stay fuller longer. You're telling me if I eat more peanut butter, I'm going to stay fuller versus if I eat 10 times in rice cakes? I don't know. I understand that it takes longer to digest in your belly.
Right.
But it is still, I mean, it's this much food versus this much food. And as soon as you walk away from it, you're
still hungry with that little bit.
Yeah, I pound more carbs than anything else because I can eat more of them.
Yeah.
So you see Coach Greg going over some of his anabolic protein, you know, French toast. He's got a bunch of recipes. Honestly, I bought his cookbook, and it is freaking awesome.
He does have good stuff.
Yeah, and I make a lot of his recipes, or I've done spins off of them. If you're if you're like looking for a solid cookbook, this is 100% the one I would buy. I would throw all the other ones in the trash, and I would buy
You do
his.
the ice cream? You do the ice cream all the time.
The protein ice cream, I do it almost every night.
Yeah.
It is legit. He is not screwing with you. He wants to help you. I highly suggest it.
2021, why are people so freaking dumb? So easy, get the protein and eat it.
Tip number 2. This comes down to the quality of food that you eat.
And by that he means eating healthy.
Tip number 2 is eat better quality of food. We literally just talked about this 5 minutes ago about the full thing. If you just eat more food that's better for you, fruits, vegetables, things like that that are not highly processed, you will be fuller longer. Easy as that.
And they have less calories.
They have less calories, so that's a win.
Stop saying fructose and sugar and blah, blah, blah in my fruit. Shut up. Stop it.
People simply do not get, you don't get the fact that if you eat more food that is better for you, your body will burn that energy. It will take more energy to burn that food. That's better off to break it down than if you eat a handful of, you know, of nuts or a handful of something really sugary and sweet or something. It's gonna take you much longer for your body to digest it, and that time that it takes to do it, you're going to burn more calories. So eat better food.
Dude, Greg Doucette looks jacked at all times.
Dude, yeah.
How did we get that jacked?
Because he's so close to the
I gotta
camera, this
get-
motherfucker. Look at his pec.
I know.
Jeez, I can't stop
He's
looking
like
away from his
50.
pec. He's fucking massive.
You're always away from your goal. From every client I've worked with, even out at the gym, even Matt Frazier winning the CrossFit Games, he always wants to do better the next time. It doesn't matter how good you get, you're never going to reach it.
The goal's always unachievable.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to, unless you actually physically write it down and you say, this is exactly what I want, and then once you've met that, reestablish a new goal.
Honestly, I think some of the problem, a lot of them don't want to put the time in to figure out what they have to do in the kitchen to really change themselves. Are you ready to finally say, you know what, I want to get the last 10 pounds off, I want to make a change? You have to put in some actual work here.
Tip number 3 is that you need to track how much physical activity you're doing during the day. Most people overestimate just how much activity they're doing and how many calories they're burning.
Tip number 3 is most of the time people overestimate how many calories they're burning throughout the course of the day. I am a culprit of that, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was working out in the gym doing bench and bent over rows and stuff like that, and I was like, 90 minutes of highly vigorous activity. Probably not. I was probably burning closer to 200 or 300 calories instead of like 1,000 like I thought in my mind.
Well, and people think then they can can eat that afterwards. The problem is you're trying to be in a deficit. So you burn that knowing that now that puts you in a deficit. So you can't eat those calories again, and then you overestimated by 700.
Yeah.
So guess what?
Now you're on
You're
the wrong
fatter
side.
than last time.
Marcus Filly's lifestyle is absolutely unrealistic for you, for me,
Yep.
for you, and you. Basically, any meeting he has, he sits on a Concept 2 biker, and he bikes the entire time he has the meeting. He does 60 to 90 minutes of cardio or lifting in the morning, and then on top of that, he's on a rower if he wasn't on a rower, maybe a third time a day. He's on a runner, he's going for walks, he's hiking. All this man does is move. I don't know if he sits on a couch at all ever during the day. So if you sit on the couch during the day, or you sit down at work, or you're not moving at work, 3,700 calories is probably a little steep for you.
You can't mimic this dude's lifestyle. Your relationships are gonna end. You're not gonna know your kid's name. It's not gonna happen. His lifestyle is not something you or us can do. It's not gonna happen.
Going up one flight of stairs or standing on your feet at work is not burning, it's not burning any calories at all. Like maybe a half a calorie that flight of stairs you just did. Like that's not doing anything for you.
Is it better than sitting? Absolutely. Is it enough caloric burn? Not. It's not gonna matter.
If I was in a caloric deficit all the time and restricting my calories, I wouldn't want to move during those moments during the day where I have opportunities to do it. I'd want to sit around.
The more energy you have, the more energy you can expend. If you don't eat the ample amount of food to have more energy, you're gonna go home, and how many times have you said it? I'm just not feeling it today, I'm not gonna go to the gym. Well, why aren't you feeling it? Because you don't have enough calories, because you're in a deficit, so now you wanna just sit down, don't wanna go work out. That's a pretty spiraling
And you know
vicious
what
cycle.
they do when they get home? They eat a big ass meal, and then they didn't move today, so they're already going on the wrong side of things, and then it just compounds.
Stacking up.
I once did a bulk.
Coach Greg on a bulk looks like a damn turtle sticking out there. What is that?
His can.
Yeah,
The
listen,
7-Up,
I don't know
just
what
chugging
that
them. That's a triple XL shirt.
Oh my
That man's
God.
a big dude.
How much steroids he eating in that fucking thing? A lot. I'm assuming they don't probably drink much on the weekends. So that is where a lot of us get our calories that we do have to be at least careful of. That you know that it's not always the amount of alcohol you're intaking, it's what you do after that same night or while you're drinking.
God, how many times have we gotten pizza late night after we've been just...
Or Taco Bell or wherever you go to, it doesn't matter, but all those calories still add up. Even though you don't remember eating them, guess what? You ate them.
They're real.
Yeah, you really did. We've been there a million times. My clients, I want them to think about in a week basis, what did you eat? But the whole week should be looked at instead of the day-to-day fluctuations. And I think that's been a little bit more successful for the clients and really myself.
Was eating ice cream every single day, 2 liters. Guess what happened? Bulk eventually comes to an end, and it's time to cut.
2 liters of ice cream a day. That's when he said world record bench press. 2
Yeah.
liters of ice cream a day.
Did he melt it? I mean, what did he do?
I couldn't eat that much
No
ice cream.
way.
I could try probably, but it's tough to come back from those calories. When we were training for the games all the time, I mean, we were consuming 5, 6, 7,000 calories. I don't even know. I mean, a ton of calories all the time. And then once we kind of retired and kind of got into, I mean, I work out once a day now at this point, maybe twice randomly here or there. But I can't move as much as Marcus Philly can during the day. So to go down from like that massive amount of calories down to like a normal human-ish kind of calories, it's tough. It's very tough for your brain to refocus and rewire.
Well, that's why it's unrealistic for 99% of people. It's not as weightlifting, it's not as 69 minutes, it's simply because the dude moves all day long. Exactly. That is why he can eat what he's eating. Otherwise, it's never gonna happen.
Tip number 5 is stop being an inconsistent asshole and find some consistency in your life. If you sleep till noon on the weekends because you got messed up with the boys, you have ruined what's going on in your brain. And then you're probably going to sleep like shit the next night, and now your days are thrown off for Monday. You're probably not going to work out early like you wanted to. Simply be consistent for periodic things throughout the course of, let's say, a week or two, and your body starts to become accustomed to it. It's tough to do in the beginning. Just do it.
So what I really, in conclusion for me, what I took from this video is being honest with yourself. The bottom line is when you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to get a little bit more cut up or maybe even gain a little bit of fitness, whatever your goal may be, a lot of people just simply aren't honest with themselves. Like I'll ask somebody, which I think is the worst freaking saying in the world is, hey, how do you eat? They always respond with, I eat pretty good.
Yeah, pretty clean, pretty
Pretty
good.
clean, I eat pretty good. The does that mean you eat pretty good? No, you really don't eat pretty good because you're in my office telling me that you're 15 pounds overweight and now you're 20 pounds overweight and blah, blah, blah. So if you're just going to, first step, be honest with yourself that something has to change and it's got to be a consistent change, that is the most important thing that I've taken from this. Because clearly, you're not maintaining 5% body fat. Nobody is. This is like 3% of people are... half of 3% of it is a very small number of fucking people. I don't even know. It's so fucking small.
Percent.
I can't even talk. I'm all screwed up. I'm in my own brain right now. It's all messed up. But you cannot maintain this. You cannot move this much. And it's like, oh, you're telling me I can't do something? Yeah, I am, because I can't even do it. And I own a gym. I'm in a gym all day long.
Yeah.
He can't do it. He's
No way.
he's a freak
Got a
when
job.
it comes to, I mean, you just can't do it. So you have got to find ways to be honest with yourself of what's going to work for you. And then when you look in the mirror and you're running around with your grandkids or your kids or whatever it is, you feel good and you feel happy. And then if it's like, hey, I need to ask Joe P or Colin C of how to get down a little bit because I'm going to Mexico next month, sweet, we can do that.
Gotcha.
But if you're not allowing yourself to at least be honest, I mean, this is not going to work.
It's not going to work ever, no matter what you're doing.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. All right, guys, what we're looking for today is for you to drop a comment down below about how much you actually moved during the day. We are going to look at it. We're going to comment back, all that good stuff, and then we would love for you to like and subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to Greg Doucette. Also subscribe to Marcus FILLY. They got some awesome stuff on their page. We're getting % of that book sale. Just kidding, we're not.
Yeah, I wish we were. You buy yourself a fuck ton of them.
This job, what did you actually do? If you're active like this guy, you're going for walks after meals, you're taking phone calls, and you ride the bike to pass the time.
Zoom it.
Think of the extra calories
Don't
that
pick it
you're
again.
As long as we, yeah. Flip, you can flip it around so we can. God damn it.
Get skinny.
Is it recording?
Workout. Oh yeah, it should be recording. Is it recording?
It says REC.
Yeah, it's got
Is
that
it
big
light
little
on?
button.
Sure. Fuck, do we need Coors Lights?
Yeah, fucking
I'm gonna go grab them. I'm not a brown cow. I'm not a brown cow. I'm not a brown cow.
That's a good start. Boom.